You know what the biggest mistake people do?
Buying too high?
No, they throw a coat of paint on and change the hardware and then ask $80,000 more for the house.
Under improving.
And people, and if you have a good realtor that's representing the buyer, it's going to say, there's no way.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Main Street Minute. David.
Claire.
And today we'd like to discuss some of the hype about investing properties, fix and flips, buying and selling. And what does that mean and how does that work? You know, you hear a lot on television, late night TV and infomercials, and a lot of the commercials you see on YouTube and other places right now where you have this promotion that you can buy and sell properties not using your own money.
Yes, no money.
Now, you've done a few flips.
A few, yes.
A couple dozen or more.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever once entertained the idea of using somebody else's money and putting none of yours into it?
No, but that's a thought, though.
Isn't it a thought?
Yes,
it's
not my own money.
Not your own.
Yes, yes.
No. So let me ask the question. Do you know anyone in the 30 years of real estate that's ever come to you and not used their own money to buy and sell real estate?
I have.
Really?
But it never worked out.
Ah.
Because that's not the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So you do need to use your own money
mm-hmm.
because it's your investment.
The veritable skin in the game, if you will.
Absolutely. So it's your investment
Proverbial, rather.
To do the repairs. It's your investment to purchase it, do the repairs, get in, get out, make the money.
Due diligence.
Yes.
So, generally speaking, as a real estate agent, do you feel that people who have money to invest into real estate are more inclined to be more inclined to pay attention to the regulations, the codes, the expenses, the risks therein? Meaning that if someone is actually putting their own money into it, they're more likely to have a successful project.
Yes.
Aha.
I think, too, what the myth is with the fix and flips, people think it's easy money, quick money. Everybody says, well, I'm going to start flipping. I'm going to start buying houses. Mm-hmm. We're going to make some quick cash. It doesn't happen that way. Mm-hmm. You need to have a team behind you. You need to have a contractor. Mm-hmm. You need to have a plan.
Sure.
Absolutely.
An inspector, if the contractor is very busy and working, you have someone that maybe can go out and they're often used as the contractor's man or woman who would bid
yes.
the project. You know, and you also need to have so you need your realtor, you need your contractor, you need your financier.
Yes.
So these are people in place that can help you, an appraiser as well, to
yes.
help you, find and actually what is going to be an acceptable risk.
Correct.
Okay.
And you need to, and there are upfront costs. You have to pay for the expenses to do the improvements mm-hmm. for the permits. So you need to have ready available cash to do this. And you need to have a plan, and you need to have that plan where somebody needs to come in and say it's going to be X amount of dollars to do this. Mm-hmm. This is what everything's going to cost. This is what your bottom line is. And then the realtor to tell you what you can sell the property for after the repairs.
The market conditions.
Yes.
So is it a good rule of thumb? I mean, I've heard throughout the years, the 20 years almost I've been doing finance for mortgages, for whether residential and for commercial. I've heard a good rule of thumb for repairs is about $30,000 per 1,000 square feet of a real estate, a residential home.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fair, yes.
Okay. And generally speaking, an investor wants to have the product being the home at its completion, having sunk into the cost of repair, the acquisition of 70% loan to value. You have 30% equity remaining to pay the realtor and their profit when they sell the property, between
yes.
70 and 80%.
Yes.
Otherwise, it becomes a product that maybe not be worth your time, or the risk may be too high. For every one bid that I've seen, when you get into home style or 203Ks, invariably there's always a what they call a contingency reserve. So you could be anywhere from 10% up to 20% contingency, which means they get the bid in, and once you get the bid from the contractor, we then are going to add on to that for things you can't see. You don't know what's going to happen when you open a door or open a wall,
Yes.
or when you get into the plumbing, or if there's a section of wire that's been pulled and you don't know. So you've got to account for the unseen, the unknown, and with that into the equation, you might want to be between 70-75% all in cost to the property, what you can actually sell the property for. And that's what I understand, or what I've been told, and I think that you would be the expert.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the other side of this, there's also, when we talk about timing to have the plan to get in and do the repairs and get out, there's also that plan where you need to do certain amount of repairs. You can't just go in and throw paint on the walls and change the hardware
The doorknobs.
the doorknobs or the kitchen hardware and then raise the price up $70,000. It's not going to work.
People are going to want to see what work has been done to the home.
Yes.
And there's value in that.
Yes.
Right.
So there needs to be a process. There needs to have it thought out. And if you have the right team and you have the timing done and the planning done out, you can be very profitable doing this.
Sure. I mean, the people that I've worked with throughout the years that have done this process of fixing and flipping, basically it's acquiring a property, repairing the property, and selling the property within a relatively short period of time. And there are products out there where you can actually purchase the home at a high loan to value and have a good significant portion of the repairs paid for through the financing. So long as you have a minimum net worth and you've had experience in doing something like that. So the real barrier to entry is going to be partnering with someone who's done it before and helping you go that way, or buying a rental property that you can hold and manage for a period of time, a year at least, to show that you have experience dealing with real estate as a business. And then from there, you can start to grow into the renovation side of things. Now, and the reason why that is because renovations can be risky. You've got to pay attention to what's on the deed. You've got to pay attention to what's behind the walls. You've got to pay attention to the code that's current. A lot of houses here in New England are hundreds of years old. The average in some towns in the industrial boom, you got to figure 1920s to 1930s. There's some beautiful houses, but at the same time, the code that was acceptable then is not the same as what's available and what's minimum today, what's they're supposed to be there today.
And a very good point. If you're in a historical district, you can't do certain renovations.
Right. So you've got to
follow code.
What do they call the character and something to that of the house. So the idea of making sure that you have to maintain the appearance of the era to maintain the historical significance of the property. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So knowing all of these things and having a good realtor to help you with that information, to have a good financier
And a good team with
and contractor,
Yes.
reliable plumber, electrician, drywaller, painter, etc. I mean, there are several different things that you need to be aware of when you're actually doing this particular type of project, that the best thing to do would be start to ask questions. Who
Yes.
do you know? Who's your realtor? Who do they have for a lender? Who's your insurance agent? How can you start to put together this picture of what it is that you want to do? And once you have a good, solid understanding of your, I'm not saying be pedantic about it. Don't, sacrifice.
That's a fancy word.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
But don't get in your own way is what I mean to say. Don't get in your own way for fear of not knowing, but you have a good start to the process. And you have a good realtor, you have a good financier, they can help you get started.
Absolutely.
And those are ways you can go around doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was it. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Please subscribe, follow us, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you.
Bye.